Can you walk around in an attic? Well, the answer is yes, but the answer is also no. See, if an attic doesn't have flooring, then you have to stay on the joist. You have to tippy-toe around this 2x, and here's the plot twist. 2x isn't exactly 2 inches, it's really 1.5 inches. So it's incredibly easy to fall through an attic, which makes it extremely dangerous to move around on. And I just bought this small 700 square foot home, so not only do I want to utilize the attic as storage, but I'm also going to be rewiring my entire house with new electrical wire, and it's going to be light years easier with the floor boarded up. Wiring outlets inside a home is a lot easier than wiring outlets in a 2-foot high crawl space or an attic, especially without an attic floor. So today's project is a DIY attic floor install, and at the end of this video I'll reflect on the project and let you know how you can save a lot more money than I did. Long Ethernet wires running through your house making a giant mess. You're sick of looking at these, but you're not sure whether to run them through your attic or your crawl space. Not sure whether to run your Romex through your attic or crawl space as well? Well, do not fret, because today we're taking a one-way ticket to DIY City. Attics and crawl spaces can seem scary, but there's really 2 or 3 things we need to worry about. It's not the boogeyman or spiders the size of frying pans. It's hitting our heads on nails coming through the roof or accidentally cutting into an electrical wire. But by far, most importantly, it's falling through your roof. Most people do not realize that it's just drywall holding up our ceilings. You can't just walk around here aimlessly. Okay, so for Romex, if it's an outlet, like 12 inches above my floor, then I'm gonna go through my crawl space. But if it's a light or a fan, then I'm gonna run it through my attic. But today we're just running Ethernet. And Ethernet is just a communication wire, which means we're not going to get electrocuted. There's really no code. You can see it outside of people's houses. It's just that eyesore wire, and then they paint over it. It looks pretty whack. Drill into the house, connect it through the modem. But my office is on the complete other side of the house, and I want Ethernet direct connection. No Wi-Fi for streaming or uploading. And I'm sick of running this 50-foot wire through my room, my hallway. So today's the day we're not going to be lazy. Time to roll up the sleeves, get into the attic. No need to get into the crawl space today. I'm not drilling in the floor. I already have holes in the floor. Now this is up to you. You might just want to run adhesive strips and cable concealers and run them along baseboards, up and down doors. But I just bought this house and I peeked into the attic, and I've decided to turn this into a bigger project. I'm going to clear out my entire attic, see if there's anything here worth money, rip out some panel nails, get rid of all this flimsy thin plywood. It does look like there's some good 1x6 up here that I could still use. Looks like my joists are 24 inches apart, not 16 inches like newer homes. So I'm worried the heavier boxes are going to have some sag in there. So I don't want anything under 1x6 or 3/4. 1x6 is really 3/4 by 5.5. Joists are the horizontal beams. Rafters are the angled structures for the roof. Growing up, I always thought that joists were the rafters. I don't know why. Maybe horror movies? I don't know. He was hanging from the rafters. No. They were hanging from the joists. The rafters right here, we're not messing with these at all today. I've got a house from the 50s, but I still think these joists are 2x6. And I'm going to go overkill today. If you want to, you can just hop up here, walk on the joists very carefully, drill 7/8 spade bit into your ceiling's drywall, and call it a day. But I'm going to go for today for a few different reasons. I do want to utilize the majority of the space up here for storage. You know, if I just want to throw something up here without worrying about anything. Second, I want it impossible for somebody to come up here that's got no awareness, no attic experience, and fall through. I want it to be as mobile as possible for the naked eye. Someone can come up here and not make a mistake. And third, I do plan on having nicer kitchen lights. I want to put in a new fan. Eventually that's going to happen, so I just want to make it more accessible now. So when I start those projects, I could just jump right into it. And I do need your help. At the end of this video, I want to know how much you would bid this job for. Attic junk removal, trailer fee, dump fee, lumber, hours labor, maybe a 2-man job, boarding up somebody else's attic. How much would you charge for this? And I did go wrong a little bit here. I'll talk about my regret at the end too. Gonna need a ladder with some heavy duty trash bags. There's no asbestos up here, I don't think. That stuff comes from demo, but it is insulation from the 50s. It's hotter than 80s up here. I am gonna try to keep my sweatshirt on the majority of the time with a mask on, as much lighting as possible. Always look at Amazon prices compared to Home Depot. This light was $30 cheaper on Amazon, and unfortunately Home Depot does not price match. And I'll leave links of all my tools in the description of this video. Electric powered saws, they're always going to be stronger, better, but when I'm on a roof, an attic, or in a crawl space, I need the mobility. So I'm gonna juice up all my batteries. Good lighting and good mobility are the name of the game. Unfortunately, I found none of One-Eyed Willie's gold coins or Mickey Mantle rookie cards, just a lot of baby and toddler accessories, checks, bank statements from the 50s, some dog best in show medals from Chattanooga. This is Knoxville. Keep in mind not to move around too much when you first jump up here. Just almost stay on your ladder and look around and see where you can actually jump up and put your butt on. It took me about 2 hours to clean this rubbish out, get it to my side yard, treat every wire that you see like it's live, use a voltage tester if you've got one, since we're going to be making some cuts next to these joists. Some of the existing 1x was decent enough to use, but I did have to make a trip to Home Depot. This is where I blew it. I should have gotten the plywood since it's significantly cheaper than the 1x6 or the 1x8 or the 1x10. I did have some 1x6 already in my shed. Looking back though, I would have snagged the thick plywood, 3/4, make the cuts outside, slide them up into the attic. My attic is about 2 feet by 2 feet, so I could have gotten some pretty big cuts up there, saved me a lot of money. I did almost fall through though. I was setting up wood to see how it would align, and I didn't sink nails. But thank God it was just my hand, and there was enough insulation padding that prevented my hand going through. If it was a leg, it would have gone through. So what you want to do is keep all of your wood stacked together. And if you do want to put it on some joists, make sure you've got a nail in it, or if not, make sure you're really paying attention to that. But I got really lucky. Some of the existing 1x6 wasn't reaching the next joist, so I'd find the center of the joist and then use a speed square so I could get about 1 inch on both sides of the wood from center, and then I'd set the depth of my saw blade to 3/4. The more you cut and sink screws, the easier it gets. It's easier to move around, but it sure does get hot in these attics. I highly recommend having a multi-tool as well. This will definitely come in handy, especially if you're cutting around existing wood or too close to something that a 6 or 7 inch Sawzall blade wouldn't work or would just be too dangerous to cut. I think this is maybe my only Milwaukee tool, and here's how it looks. The full length of my 700 square foot home. Here's the before and here's the after. I recommend drilling into your ceiling, not from the attic. Jump down so you can see exactly where the hole is going to go in your living rooms or your offices or bedrooms, and then pop back into your attic and then drop the Ethernet through. It's easier to just drop through than push up. I did end up using concealing strips anyways. It turns out that my 50-foot Ethernet cord I bought on Amazon wasn't long enough, but fortunately I had another 8-foot or 10-foot Ethernet cord with a female to female coupler hanging around. I was able to get the main Ethernet line into my hub, so all 3 of my computers were not running off slow Wi-Fi. Direct connection is significantly faster than Wi-Fi. So this is a little bit more of a job than I had anticipated, but I didn't fall through, I didn't get shocked, and my head didn't hit a nail. We'll call it a win. But I need you now. So let me ask you this. How much would you bid for this job? Attic junk removal, trip to the dump. I spent about $250 in lumber. It took me 2 days, maybe a day and a half though if I wasn't filming this and had my cameras and stuff up there. I called a couple of my friends who are general contractors. One of the guys said $2,000 and another guy said $2,500, or charge a $500 day rate. Let me know what you would charge for the job. Let me know if you think that's too expensive or not enough. Any interest in electricity? I'm going to make a tutorial on how to add lights up here. I'm going to have a light switch. I'm going to splice the wire. So consider subscribing if you're interested in that video. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you.